My parents didn't say much. They were, as I said before, they weren't citizens, so they pretty much had to do what the government had asked them to do. They were sort of surprised that the citizens had to go too, but in our case, we were all teenagers and younger, so I could see where they might go with the parents. But some of the older nieces went with the parents too, so all of them had to go to camp. Except a few families that went to Moses Lake. There was one group of 3 or 4 families that went to Moses Lake and were there like we were in camp. They were in Moses Lake for 3 years or 3.5 years. And it was, I think that there was a few of our leaders went over to Moses Lake to look over Moses Lake, but you know, for a family to pick up and move, you have to be pretty wealthy too in order to be able to find a home and probably rent a piece of property to farm on. And that was a problem for most families. It just didn't have the reserve to take on a venture like that. My dad had to sell the crop that we were expecting that summer. He managed to sell it to a neighbor. As far as packing, he can only take a few things, you know, clothes, and there wasn't anything else you can bring anyway. So we did leave it in the house. When we returned, some were not there anymore, but most things were still in the house. Even our tools were still there. So after they returned, after 3 years, they were able to start the farm again. We didn't ask anyone to care for the house, so you know, there's always some burglarizing, and that did happen, although we didn't lose that much, really. I think we had an old car, that Model T, that didn't run anymore. That was gone when we got back, but we didn't lose much there.